Hello my friend, and welcome back to another replay cast. We're going to be doing yet another little investigation here into the #1 player on ladder. He's dropped just slightly from his peak, now down to 2880 in the past 10 games. He's won 8 out of his past 10 games, but still managed to drop about 40 ladder points. So it's extremely hard to gain ladder points at this high of a level. Basically every single loss you're going to be losing a ton of points. You're barely going to be gaining any every time you win. So eventually you are going to start to fall off of that 2900 number. It's nearly impossible to get to 3000, but he's gotten very, very close. And guys, today we've got plenty of games here. We're going to go through some TvT, actually a lot of TvT. We've got some great names here. We've got Sock, we've got Tengu. We're also going to be taking a look at another Soma game that I picked up, but all of that is coming up in this video. We're going to be taking a look at Barracks, how he's been playing on the ladder recently, and I tell you, he is super aggressive even in a TvT. So we saw his aggression in TvP, we saw it in TvZ. Now we're going to take a look at his TvT and just how he's been snagging wins off of these incredibly strong players and managing to stay at the very top of the ladder. So let's jump into the first game here, guys. Here we go. All right, we're gonna start by taking a look at this game between Barracks and Eski. Now Eski is a strong ladder Terran player. He doesn't have a ton of results in major tournaments, but he did manage to win the ACS, which is the Africa Challenger Series Season 2 in 2023. So that was pretty recent. Managed to get that win, got himself a clean $1,500 from that, and has participated in the KCM before as well. So he is in the mix here. He's an up-and-comer and has a very strong record on the ladder. He's also part of the team NZU, which is the same as Sock. Just thought I'd mention that as well. And Barracks here, well, he's going to be throwing down a pretty far forward racks just so that he can get a couple of Marines out here and send that Barracks floating over to get full information on his opponent. We are, of course, on Apocalypse for this game #1. And we're going to be taking good care here to pay close attention to what Barracks does and how he dismantles Eski here. I actually don't know if he wins this one or not. I'm assuming he does. He does win most of these, of course. Otherwise, he wouldn't be at the level that he's at, the MMR that he's at right now. But I'm assuming we're probably going to see a pretty serious manhandling here from Barracks over Eski. Eski not quite at that level just yet, I don't think. But anything can happen in TvT. Looks like the factory is just about the same time here. An extra Marine going to be produced by Barracks, and he's going to come down here, take a little fight with this Marine. If you got 2 Marines, you can actually come running in and snipe the single Marine here of Eski, and then things get a little bit funky because you just won't have that anti-air to get rid of your Barracks. With your Barracks floating across the map, if you kill this early Marine, then the Barracks can just float over top of these factories forever, right? So he's gonna come in here right as the command center gets started. Only about 200 HP on that. Trying to get this kill on the Marine if he can. Getting the kill on the Marine is big. There is going to be a Vulture popping out here in just a second. He does kill the Marine. Okay, Marine is dead, but both his Marines are pretty much sacrificial at this point. He's going to get 1 SCV. No, not quite getting that SCV. And he's going to lose. Oh, he did get 1. Okay, so trading 1 for 1. Being just 1 SCV behind now. Both players losing all of their Marines. So funny little interaction there in the mineral line of Eski, but seems like neither player really ahead at this point. Both players with 2 Vultures out, and both the command centers in pretty good time here. Slight advantage in that command center timing for Barracks, just because he was on the aggressive. He forced that SCV off for a little bit of time here, but it's still anyone's game. And look at that machine shop coming down with the second factory. We'll see if Eski wants to remain building vultures here, or does he want to drop a machine shop of his own? There it is, machine shop coming out here for Eski. Guys, I've been playing a lot of ladder myself recently. Actually, my wrist is a little bit rough right now because I've been playing a lot of ZVP. Really struggling in that matchup once again. Every time I take a little bit of a break, take a little time off, when I get back, that's the matchup that struggles the most. But I was watching quite a bit of Hawk playing his F rank to S climb, and I got inspired a little bit, I'll be honest. I thought that it was pretty awesome the way that he was explaining. I thought it made a lot of sense, and I felt like, hey, maybe I should try his method of playing what he thought was best in my rank, B rank, and trying to get into A and seeing if I could follow what he prescribed and maybe, you know, increase my rank, increase my overall skill. And so I've been doing a bunch of laddering recently off stream, but my wrist is incredibly tired right now. You can really feel it after taking a break for some time. For some time, excuse me. Taking a break, you really feel like your macro is just not there. Like even not even that long of a break, just a short break. Maybe a month or whatever. And you get back and it feels like, man, I just can't move my fingers like I used to before. Like, what's going on here? What exactly is happening with this? Another missed shot there with the tank. That's a little bit frustrating for Eski. Eski gonna move around this. You can't really fight uphill in these situations. It's a little bit annoying. Try and take this hill. So he's gonna come up on the left-hand side, but I don't really like this for Eski. Takes a couple of losses there. And look at that, Barracks just sitting back completely casually here. Oh, and a misrallied vulture to the front gets picked off as well. This could get really bad really quick. We've got a lot of factories here, and it looks like Barracks, although he is supply blocked right now, he's gonna have an advantage in his vulture count. This is so many vultures coming up here. Does he have mines as well? No, he does not. He just got speed. He's gonna try and break the front here. We've got one tank and two tanks and 2 Goliaths. That's pretty strong. Let's keep an eye on the HP overall of these tanks. First tank does get picked off. Pretty good surface area here for Eski. You can see some of the vultures at the back there moving around, not really attacking for Barracks. So I think Eski got the better of that engagement, throwing down some mines here. Now those aren't really going to help you too much, but he decides to throw them down anyway. Really need to get out on the map a little bit and throw down mines to maybe catch tanks as they're coming across the map or something, rather than right inside your natural. But it's fine. He's repaired up most of his units here. He's got the vulture number now to try and maybe push out, but you do not want to move forward when the vultures are ready to counterattack like this. That's a very scary situation to put yourself in. Here he comes up onto the high ground. Cannot be affording to take a hit with these mines. Just so heavy on the vulture is Barracks right now. He's got an immense number of vultures to fight with. He could try to slip by here, but looks like Eski pretty much on top of that, making sure that that's not going to happen. 3 tanks now here for Eski. The first tank is about to pop out. Okay, there's the first tank, actually. It's across the map now. He's gonna get siege mode here pretty soon. Can he siege up on the high ground above Eski's natural and kind of contain him in this position? That would be the optimal scenario here for Barracks. And if you can't break through here, I don't know if you just quit, if you just tap out here as Eski, because it's gonna be so difficult to do anything. If you can't even take your own high ground peninsula here, might be advisable just to tap out. But he's gonna get up onto this high ground. He's gonna push everything back. He got a good shot with that tank onto the tank of Barracks, but Barracks gonna take a really nice shot there, picking off one of those tanks. He's gonna run forward here, and most of the vultures have dried up overall for Eski. Now getting mines right place on top of his tanks, gonna kill the majority of these tanks. Okay, actually hanging on to a couple of these, just in range though now, and a big hit there with that mine. That's massive. He's gonna dive forward, able to get that one tank there. And ooh, almost gets another mine going as well. One more shot. He does get it. GG. GG, yo. Eski taps out. All right, I've got another game by Eski. Or with Eski, excuse me, and Barracks. But we're going to skip over that for now. We might come back to it a little bit later. We're going to jump into this Tengu versus Barracks game here on Invader, and kind of see how TvT plays out on this map, because I actually haven't really seen much TvT here. Things to mention: you've got the small ramp here on the left hand side, in addition to the opening here at the front of your natural. Eggs, of course, a lot of eggs. That's kind of a new map thing. Almost all new maps have some amount of eggs on them. Think Vermeer, think any of these real new maps. You're going to be using eggs to kind of make things a little bit tighter in your natural or in your choke. A Barracks out here in the middle of the map for Barracks. Looks like he wants to put on some early pressure, going for an 8 racks here on the opposite side of the map and typing up a storm. This is typical scumbag play here, actually, but I guess that Tengu did initiate by chatting up a bunch, so maybe not the total low life that I'm imagining right now. The one that builds barracks in the middle of the map and then starts asking you questions like, "Hey, where are you from? What are you up to? How's life?" Gets you typing. And then at the same time rushing you, sending Marines right to your front. That's the scumbag type of play. Or, you know, double gateway in your main base and typing to you and trying to act all friendly and stuff. That's the true scumbag maneuver. We've already got our first Marine here. He's gonna start to annoy this SCV here, and as he deals damage to that SCV, we may have to see the SCV switch off. Okay, the Barracks will finish. First Marine just being held back here for now. SCV heading across the map is going to find out about this very late. Factory going to be placed down at home. Factory of his opponent has been thrown down as well. We've only got one Marine, no second Marine being made, so 3 Marines is going to crush this one Marine. And with the SCV involved as well, this is going to be very annoying to deal with. Very annoying indeed. And here he comes, walking up the ramp. Tengu realizes now that he's been played here, that the casual conversation was all just a ruse. He's going to lose his SCV on the factory. Going to run forward here, try to get the kill on some of these Marines. He gets one. Second Marine does pop out. Maybe he can shove this back now. Looks like he gets some good damage on that second Marine, though. SCV's coming up. A third Marine going to come up here. Oh, that one SCV gets the kill on that Marine. That's so painful. Factory still delayed here, and a Vulture should be coming across the map soon for Barracks. Yeah, that Vulture is almost finished producing here. Gonna come into the main mineral line, try to get some kills on a few of these SCVs. Unfortunately, getting surrounded. Gets one more kill. Looks like this SCV got a kill as well. He's got 3 kills on this one SCV. Oh my god, what a godly SCV there. That is crazy. Vulture back at home. Second Vulture on the way. First Vulture here from Tengu. out in the front, but look at the overall SCV count. It is brutal. 18 to 13, and the command center is 25% done already. We haven't even started a command center here for Tengu. He is in a world of hurt. An absolute world of hurt. How do you even come back from this? We've already got the armory on the way. He's getting prepared for all situations. Another factory should be coming down soon as well. Coming up with 2 vultures now. Just gonna run straight on into the main. Since there was a machine shop thrown down, he doesn't have another vulture popping out. He's gonna lose even more SCVs here. 1, 2, and Tengu taps out. So some aggressive play from Barracks, managing to take Tengu down at just the 5-minute mark. He taps out. Okay, another up-and-coming Terran player here over in the top left-hand corner. If you've been watching Artosis casts at all, you will know this player very, very well. It is Ride Sky. He is a strong up-and-comer, as I said. Has a 2nd place win in the ACS and a 3rd place win in the ACS as well. So, you know, he's gonna be one of those guys we're looking forward to seeing in the ASL in the future. Having those good results in ACS kind of means that you're on track to being one of those ASL players in the future. I don't know if Barracks actually has any ACS wins. Does he? Let me take a look here. Looks like he never competed in the ACS. But he has lots of ASL group stage placements, right? He's made it through to like 9th place. Maybe like the round of 16, round of 20. Round of 22, round of 24. What am I saying? Totally forget the way that that's even set up now. But he has made it pretty far into the ASL. I really thought that he would have done ACS as well, but I guess not. Just showing great results on the ladder. Doesn't always translate onto the main stage, of course. A lot of really strong players don't even bother to play ladder. I'm thinking of like Mini, for example, mostly plays in single player and in you know, sponsored matches, which have become bigger and bigger, by the way. Sponsored matches are becoming insanely big in Korea now. Like, we're talking, you know, $20,000-$30,000 in a month some of these players can make from doing those spawn matches and daily pro leagues, that type of thing, because it's just streaming is so huge right now, right? Streaming is just massive. Players are donating, or viewers are donating all the time, and then the players, they take the viewer donations and use them as kind of like a gambling tool. They place them all into a pot, and whoever wins that day of Pro League is going to get the entire pot. So it's an interesting dynamic we've got going on here. But still, somebody has to be the head of the ladder. Somebody's got to be on top, and I guess for now it is Barracks. We'll see if he can translate this play into future wins, but for now he's got to take down Red Sky here. And everything's gone pretty much normally on both sides so far. However, Red Sky does have a slightly faster CC. He's built more Marines as well. With 3 Marines versus 2, you really can't fight this. First Vulture's coming across the map, though, and that could make things a little bit hectic here for Red Sky. Red Sky's got another Marine popping out, but it's not going to be able to get in this bunker in time, I think. Okay, Vulture here at the front is going to try and deal some damage, try to get some free shots. Pretty good targeting here from Red Sky, doing as much damage to the Vulture as he can. Not able to pick that off, and it looks like the Vulture will be sent back home. managing to get 3 kills for free. Not bad at all. However, Ride Sky does have the earlier CC. He's already got the SCV advantage. And there hasn't really been that much of a punishment here from Barracks to kind of make up that deficit. Starport on both sides now. I don't see a armory or anything. So whoever wins this air war is going to have a pretty major advantage. Assuming that's what's going to happen here. Like, let's say Ride Sky builds a Wraith and sends it over. And then there's 2 Wraiths here waiting for Barracks. Then Barracks can kill that Wraith, fly across the map, and do a ton of damage because there's just no anti-air aside from this Wraith. So a lot of players who go for the earlier CC will go for the Starport. And the Starport is really if your opponent decides to push you, rather than going for their own natural, the Starport really helps out with the Wraith damage. You can kind of hold off a push here at the front. You know, you repair your bunker, you just hold off the push. Ooh, drop here coming around the back. So Barracks getting real dirty here. Instead of going for a Wraith right off the bat, he's gonna go for Wraith second and drop first. He's not gonna drop back here? What? Okay. No drop back there. He's gonna drop into the main. And 2 tanks here. Gonna be trying to deal with these vultures. Vultures are gonna get quite a few kills. Looks like the Wraiths should be able to get that. A lot of kills here with this this drop going on. Damn, that was quite a bit of damage. Now he's actually behind at this point. Wraith gonna fly through here, waiting for its cloak. As soon as cloak is done, it can turn and kill this other Wraith, but looks like it took some damage there. Oh, and the dropship actually made it back home. So a couple of things going right here for Barracks right now is he's been able to keep that dropship alive, and he's got the Wraith here with the cloak. So just gonna run to the other side of the map. 40 seconds. I don't know if that's gonna be long enough to catch this Wraith. It might just barely be enough time, but we'll see. If he, you know, slowly turns the Wraith and comes all the way around again, maybe he can bring it back. Maybe he can wear out this time, but we've got double port Wraith now. A lot of Wraiths coming up. A second Wraith gonna make it his way up here as well. So this is dead 100%. It doesn't matter if this runs out of energy because the second Wraith will be there to pick it off. He's gonna get the moving shot now. Moving shot finishes it off. 2 more Wraiths gonna pop out here shortly. And this is a lot of air power right now for Barracks. Ride Sky, on the other hand, has dropped his armory. He's getting into some Goliaths. He should be going for turrets here soon too. He's only gone Comsat so far, so I don't know if that's a good idea. I think you do need eBay here pretty darn quick. Otherwise, these are just going to be able to run away whenever you do the scan and come on back in once the scan runs out. It's very, very annoying. Looks like one of these is still cloaked, so it runs out of energy. That's a little bit unfortunate for Barracks here, but he's still got this air power. He's going to come in and do some harassment damage. A lot of naked SCVs here with no Goliaths to protect them. Oh my god, what a mine there. I'm glad we just got the tail end of that. Mine dealing so much damage to these tanks. He's got 3 tanks here on red HP. Just barely managing to survive there. He's going to come close enough so that he can prevent anything from running by here, but not too close to the front of Barracks base. Another drop here in the main. So that dropship escaping earlier was actually super impactful. Looks like he's got the proper... Oh, nice pick off there. Oh, he's going to get a second kill. That mine dealing so much damage, killing 2 tanks there just based on that mine helping out. He's going to get a few more SCVs as well. And Barracks is just looking so much more solid in this game. I think we're really getting a nice view of his overall class and ability in this little back and forth here between Ride Sky And Barracks proving his worth right now. Not able to break out just yet, but Red Sky with a serious advantage here in his overall SCV count. He's still got the air power here. One turret comes up, so now you can't actually fight this. He's got the dropship as well. Red Sky not going to make it easy for him. Setting up more tanks here, pushing forward just little by little, making sure that this is as difficult to break as possible. Ooh, he's going to get the dropship as well. Beautiful pick off there. Getting that dropship is absolutely massive. Shutting that play down. Disallowing any further SCV damage to come from Barracks. And now Red Sky, he's going to have to defend this pretty big attack. Bringing the SCVs here, he should be able to break through. Mines on top of all this are going to connect. Big, beautiful hits there. But more tanks do arrive. Reinforcements here for Red Sky, and there's still not a lot of space here at the front. You know, we've wasted a lot of SCVs. We've thrown away a lot of that lead. Still has an additional 6 SCVs over top of his opponent, but ooh, another couple of big hits there. Another drop heading out on the map. Interesting. Okay, he doesn't actually have anything in that dropship for now, but could be loading that up with some vultures here soon. Tanks continuing to shove forward little by little. He wants to just barely get in range, siege up, and then scan to try and get the first volley off, if possible. Dropping. Oh my god, so many more SCVs coming out here. He's gonna go for the big one. The big fight here. Targeting down tanks is Red Sky, but eats a huge mine there. And all the tanks disappear. Only one tank left over here. Okay, a second tank does come up. He's gonna siege this line once again. But more vultures are out. They're gonna take those pot shots at the tanks, pushing them back once again. Another tank gets picked off. And Barracks is breaking this contain slowly but surely. Textbook play here from Barracks, showing exactly how to get out of a situation like this. Drop play and a slow pushing forward, combined with some SCVs being used to break those siege lines. Excellent execution from him. Now we've got Goliath back here, not really doing anything. We've got a turret over here as well, just to kind of help out if there was going to be another drop. He does have a sort of a tank line here, but looks like Barrett's gonna hit it on the side and picks off a couple of Goliaths for free already. This is not looking good for Red Sky. Red Sky eating some huge mine hits here. The Goliaths are trying to save the day, but the mines do in fact connect. More tanks coming up here, but now the tank number really overwhelming for Barracks. You can see how quickly this type of position can flip on its head, and there you have it. Red Sky taps out. GG. And Barracks taking control of that game. You know, it was a good move by Red Sky to get that containment up here, but he took a lot of damage from those vultures, those drops, and of course the Wraith play just did not go in his favor. With the double Wraith production, you're always going to have that air power. That was a pretty good game. It was a very intense early game, but Barracks once again proving that intense early games are his specialty and taking another win here in this TvT. Okay, it's time to take a little break here from the TvT in order to take a look at this game between Soma and Barracks. As we saw last week, Barracks was able to take down Soma in an early game. I believe it was about 11 minutes long. Dismantled him pretty handily. But Soma, not one to be trifled with. He did come back and find another match here with Barracks. It was just a couple of games afterwards. I guess it was about 7 days later, maybe 6 days later. But Barracks didn't put a whole lot of games on this account as of late. Like I said, about 8 games most recently. And one of those games, one of those 8 games, was a rematch here with Soma. So we're going to take a look at that. And then 8 racks already coming out here for Barracks. It's funny how 8 racks is becoming so popular in this matchup. I think it's only a matter of time before we start seeing 8 racks in Protoss, right? In TvP. Because we've seen it a ton in TVZ. It's become super popular recently in TVZ. It's become incredibly popular in TvT as well. You know, standard openers are definitely stronger, but we saw earlier. I won't, you know what, I'll take that back. I won't say it's super popular, but we have seen Barracks use it before. It can definitely work well against Terran opponents to take that early edge, and to even to just force your opponent out of the game in the early game. But like, how long do we wait until, or how long is it going to take until 8 racks becomes popular in TvP as well? Maybe if the Protoss players find a new way to deal or to get Nexus first out, maybe they're gonna find it. They're gonna have to go with 8 racks just to get rid of it. Beautiful, beautiful control here by Soma, able to get that. Ooh, I think he lost an Overlord. Ooh boy, that Overlord just got picked off here by the 8 racks, and we're starting a bunker outside of the range of vision here. And the Overlord on the way. He's gonna finish up his spawning pool, but he just can't build anything right now. I guess he's gonna have to build a sunken. I think you just have to build a sunken here, and yeah, there's the sunken. Marine's gonna come forward, start to deal damage to that sunken colony. Drones will have to be pulled here to fight. There's really no other choice at this point, I think. Gonna get a whole ton of drones together. Starts the sunken colony, but there's already enough damage on that sunken, I think, that it's really not gonna be able to live for too long. Once the bunker finishes, this is just gonna die. As soon as that finishes, yeah, he's gonna get 2 shots off, and then that's it. That sunken is gone. Lings do pop out, and my goodness, I've been in this situation a lot of times. Getting cheesed out by a Terran player with the 8 racks. He's building like 4 or 5 bunkers in front of your natural, making it impossible for you to save it. Creep colony does go down, but halfway down already here on the HP of this hatchery. Gonna try and deal some damage to that sunken colony with a Marine or 2, but it's too late, man. You just can't build a sunken colony this late and expect it to hold. I've been in this exact situation before many a time, and I almost feel like you have to wait for the position of the bunker, figure out where the position of the bunker is, and then throw the sunken down just outside of range of the bunker. You can't be throwing down the sunken colony at the beginning of the fight, because I mean, he didn't really have much of a choice here because he did lose the early Overlord. He really didn't have anything to work with, but it feels so bad. Okay, here comes the Lings. Just gonna run out here, gets a surround on this bunker, but we've got so many fallback bunkers here to work with. I guess now he's just gonna run by, but there's already a wall in at home. I almost feel it would have been better to just run by with all the Lings before. You know, take all of the Lings and just run by. That probably would have actually maybe done something, but now he's got the supply depot here at the front. He's got the SCVs in the wall. These bunkers are dead, but you don't have a natural. He's thinking about trying to take another natural here, but things are already in such a desperate situation. There's really no way to handle this properly and actually come out on top. Look at the supply differential. I think that we're going to see Soma tap out here. He's just barely going to kill this bunker, but the Marines will clean up almost every single Ling here. And yeah, he does clean up the last Ling. That's so frustrating. Not even able to win that fight. And yeah, the position is just untenable here. I guess Soma's going to stick in, maybe try to get something done. But we've already seen Barracks very powerful in the mid game, even without a huge advantage. He's so aggressive with his Marine medic moves, and he does not allow even players like Soma to abuse him with the Mutalisk control. He's really, really solid with his Marine medic control. So I don't expect this to go anywhere. I think that someone will be tapping out soon. Gonna go ahead and throw down a couple more barracks here. It looked like he started a turret, but then he gets the scan. He sees that the layer's not even done, so he just cancels the turrets. That's gonna make things so much easier. We're already at almost 7 minutes here, and he doesn't even need to start building turrets yet. The layer is gonna finish up super late. He's building a second sunken colony. He just doesn't have anything else he can really do at this point. Marine medic move out coming across the map. Another sunken colony, thinking about going down here. No, he just cancels the sunken. So 2 sunkens. Can they hold off? I think you can maybe hold off, but if he just runs up and kills the sunken and then tucks his marines and medics back here, like, what are you gonna do? There's really no choice. There's really no chance here for Soma. One drone heading out on the map. Needed to get that drone out on the map before the marine medic kind of contained him here, so good of him to get that drone out on the map so he can at least try to take a base, maybe take a center left base or something like that, try to hide something, maybe bottom left. He's giving himself a chance here, but it's not a good chance by any means. More marines gonna come out. We've got triple barracks here with the factory. Plenty of marines already, with this spire only being halfway done. Oh my gosh. Oh, it hurts so much as a Zerg player to watch this. It's so painful, you guys. And it looks like Barracks is going to put him out of his misery. He's got a good chunk of Marines now. 11 Marines here. Hitting the stim button. He hits the go button, and he's going to break through. He kills that one sunken colony. He's going to kill a ton of drones. And now he can just fight this sunken with no problem. This medic just gonna heal right through that sunken damage, and GG is called. Soma taps out. A painful game there for Zerg players everywhere. For our next game, in the top right, the champion of cheese, we've got Barracks here, and our top left in the brown, it is Sock. So Sock gonna take on Barracks in this TvT. And are we gonna see another cheesy 8 racks? I don't know. I think it seems to be Barracks' MO, man. He's getting so many free wins with this build. It feels just so powerful. And players aren't really expecting it from him yet. So, you know, getting away with those free wins on ladder, it's totally acceptable. No 8 racks here. All right. So not an 8 racks. Barracks with the supply depot in the standard position, forcing the SCVs to pop out just slightly further to the right here. Oh, the rally point's over there. I'm not sure why. There you go. Okay. Gonna start his barracks. And a barracks of Socks here as well. So everything looking pretty normal now in this TvT. And let's just talk a little bit about Sock while we wait for this game to warm up. Sock is a player that I expected great things of in this most recent season of ASL, but he didn't manage to make it through the qualifiers, unfortunately. He was really impressing me with his KCM performance in 2023 season 2 and season 3. He was doing amazingly well. We had some fantastic games from him. I was really expecting him to just kill it in whatever tournament was coming up soon, but he seems to have fallen off just slightly. His matchups and win rates are very, very close. He's like a really well-rounded Terran player. If you take a look at his matchups, versus Protoss is his worst at 51%. Versus Terran and versus Zerg are both at 54%. So it's not like he's crushing any one specific matchup. And it's not like he's, you know, Flash level or something like that. He's not some enigma that's just destroying everyone. But he's been doing very well, and he's been very solid. Has like a greater than 50% win rate in all of his matchups, and he's been improving slowly over time. So I'm still optimistic about this player and what we might see out of him in the future. He's gone for a bit of an earlier vulture because he did skip one marine, so he's gonna have this vulture just slightly earlier, and he's gonna have a slightly earlier command center as well. Looks like Barracks will scout that. Doesn't have that command center because he's gone double factory, and you know what? Sock just might be dead here. He's decided to go for a machine shop, and we're going 2 factory vulture, so we're gonna have way more vultures on the field for Barracks, and he needs, we have to hold this natural. I'm really shocked to see this machine shop here. Like, why are you going machine shop when we have to hold the natural? Tank is going to be popping out soon, but look at this. The vultures are going to slide in when this vulture's out on the map. We've got 2 marines and 2 vultures with 2 more on the way. There's going to be 4 vultures and 2 marines. And what does Sock have back at home? Nothing. He's got nothing here except for 1 marine hitting this barracks and 1 vulture that's going to be running into the natural, it looks like, of one running into the barracks of Barracks, or 1 running into the natural of Barracks. Oh my god, we've got quite a few SCVs going down here. Just look at how quickly the damage piles up here on top of this tank, and of course on top of these SCVs. Trying to get the repair, he doesn't get it. The repair fails here, and yeah, you're just dead, man. What the hell? GG. That is insane to me. Absolutely wild. Looks like he got a couple of kills with that vulture over there. He had a wraith incoming. Trying to play fancy here was Sock, but just the 2 factory vulture rally dissecting Sock's play, taking him to pieces. And I've got another Sock game here. That was a pitiful showing after I talked him up so much in this game. We're gonna jump into a little rematch here. It was played right afterwards on the ladder, so Sock hit him again. Let's jump into that game. So guys, these games were played back to back on the 7th of November 2023, so as fresh can be. These pro replays brought to you by Seawall.gg. All of that rhymed. Was not intentional. We've got Barracks down here. We got Sock in the top right. I love the purple. Purple Terran is pretty sick. Yellow Terrans are... I actually like yellow Zerg better. But my color really is orange. Got to get the trunks. Got to put on the orange gi for my Zerg. That's my style, but I do respect the purple, and the yellow is decent as well. Yellow Zerg for sure. Sock here, he's got to be frustrated, man. That was a painful loss, giving more points to this already MMR inflated cheese master here. I call him MMR inflated. I don't know. It seems like so many of his games have been won in the early game. Maybe that's just the way to ensure victory. You know, the longer the games go on, the more chances there are for silly things to happen, right? Minds can connect in funny ways. You know, things can go wrong. You know, you might miss a hotkey or whatever. There might be some sort of misstep with the micro, or a bug or a glitch. Something can happen, right? But if you take down your opponent in the early game with just some better strategic planning, right, or just a build order win, then hey, I mean, you win, right? You win, and you get that player out of the way. You get that win on the board, And yeah, that just might be the better way to get like a consistently high MMR. Not sure, but seems to be working for Barracks right now. And Barracks gonna come over here. He deals quite a bit of damage to this SCV, forcing 2 off the line in order to prevent that from going down. 1 SCV here in the natural. Gonna be annoyed once again by this SCV of Barracks. Barracks, that first scout paying off here. Not quite getting a kill just yet, but dealing quite a bit of damage. And there's that SCV with the low HP. Can he actually get a snipe on that? Would be pretty sick. How much HP is there? 15. Okay, too many shots. It'll take 3 hits to finish that off. I don't think you're going to be able to get away with that. I was thinking maybe like 1 or 2 hits might be possible. But he's just going to flit around the main base here for now. Gets his own command center going. And it's already looking like a nice normal game here. Everything looking natural. But little do we know, things are about to get crazy. Already 1 off the gas. All right, he's actually got 2 on the gas now. A little bit interesting, the gas optimization here from Barracks. Gonna be getting a factory just slightly later, but has extra Marines. Blocking out the SCV, nicely done. Stopping that from getting the scout is of benefit. Finally gonna start to float this Barracks across the map to get the scouting information. Only has 2 Marines here with the 3rd at the front. First factory has been thrown down here for Sock. First for Barracks as well now. Will he go for another 2 factory play? I doubt he does it. Okay, he does do it actually. But I doubt that we'll see, yeah, no starport here. And I doubt we'll see him go for a greedy add-on once again after losing so quickly in that last game. So we will have a different game here. 3rd factory on the way. This is a Vulture War scenario here right now. With this many factories coming up this quickly, it really does appear to be that Vulture War situation. Both players getting into their supply depots. Oh, machine shop right off the bat. Ooh, machine shop here too. Interesting. No first Vulture for Barracks. Going for just straight into a machine shop. And a 4th factory coming up as well. 4 factories coming up for Barracks, or for Sock, excuse me. Huh. I'm not really familiar with TvT as much. It's definitely not my matchup. So I wonder what's prompted this out of both players going for 4 factories right off the bat. Neither player going for a starport. A 5th factory here. A 5th factory on the way, and a 5th factory here as well for Barracks. Huh. And has really spread them out as well. Make sure that he can get them to the ramp as quickly as possible, I guess. Same thing over here. Very spread out on the barracks, or on the factories here. This is actually not as good, I don't think, having us here, because it's hard to do a macro round like this when you can't fit it all on one screen. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like if you had it right here maybe, or right there, then you could go like bum 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 bum, hit them all. Here is great for Sock, right? He can just go dut 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 dut, hit all of his vultures, and he should be good to go. Barracks is about to be taken down. Does he want to add a 6th factory here before the barracks falls? He doesn't have it. If he doesn't, he won't have a choice whether or not to add this, and that could mean, you know, an extra barracks or an extra factory here for Sock could give him the advantage. I don't see it just yet. Pretty even on the overall worker count here, although Barracks seems to have snagged a slight lead. Coming in now, gonna take this fight. Oh god, this is really hard to say who's gonna come out ahead in this, but it's looking like Sock's got the advantage, and he has the closer rallies. Now, if he wins this fight and he just doesn't let Barracks escape here, if he just runs him down, gets the moving shot, he should be able to win this. Oh, it's really, really close right now. Man, it's like 4 or 5 vultures to 4 or 5 vultures on either side. And that was about as close and even of a trade as you could ever imagine. However, 6 extra SCVs on the side of Barracks. He did manage to lose his barracks though, so he actually can't add on any more factories. We're gonna see another factory here. No, just total 5 factories here. 5 factories here as well. What's the next step for either player? An academy on the way. 1 tank gonna start to pop out here for Barracks, and you don't usually see this, guys. This is a really interesting thing for me. Is we saw Vulture Wars, but both players had the exact number of same number of vultures pretty much, and they both didn't make any mistakes with their control really. So interesting to see that, right? Because now both players are like dead even basically in their overall counts. Oh, he's gonna block this. Barracks here, not able to get any reinforcements down this ramp. He's gonna try and take advantage by getting a big full arc. Oh, I love this by Sock. This is so beautiful. Stopping everything from coming out here for Barracks and getting that huge arcing position. You can see, oh, actually it's so close here in the overall supply count. That is wild to me. Still quite a few left over here. Looks like some vultures did manage to get in there, get a few kills, but SCVs are having to be pulled on the side of Barracks as well. Look at the overall SCV count. Way ahead here for Barracks. 10 SCVs advantage right now. So that counterattack doing a huge amount of damage. Plus, you know, hanging on here in the natural with the SCVs. I think this move was probably like almost game ending, but the counterattack there did a huge amount of damage. So similar to actually ZVZ, right? Like we're seeing just the kind of basic units being thrown against each other in huge numbers, kind of like lings fighting each other, and then 2 or 3 lings run into the natural, get a few kills, and it gives a huge advantage to the Zerg player who got the counterattack going. And in this case, the counterattack player is Barracks here, and it's a beautiful move that's really kept him in this fight here. He's even ahead now in supply by quite a lot, and look at that SCV advantage. Holy crap, that is crazy to me. That is absolutely wild. Seems like there's actually more overall vultures though for Sock, maybe. Siege up here on low ground, drag in some vultures. Great shots there, dealing quite a bit of damage to these vultures, kind of removing some of those from the equation. Still getting a lot of mines, a lot of map control does go to Sock. Sock gonna get his 3rd base quite a bit sooner. Although he is behind, he does have the positional advantage, and you cannot underestimate positional advantage in a Terran versus Terran matchup. The amount of value just being ahead positionally kind of gleans you is kind of crazy. Does clear out some of these mines. Gonna get counterattacked here, but has some reinforcements waiting in the wings. So an excellent reinforcement spot, rallying all of the factories to just this spot right here, really shutting that down. And now he's gonna come across the map, and I don't know, do we have, oh no, we don't quite have siege mode here yet for Sock, so he's gonna be a little late on sieging this stuff up. Sieging up now. He does have siege mode. Gonna start to siege everything here. Has vultures, but the number of vultures here for Barracks seems overwhelming. Focusing down all of the mines. Really good mine focusing there by Sock. Getting rid of every single mine before it can get a connection. Gonna run forward now. Sieging up and focusing down tanks as he can. Trying to get some mines on top of this, but The reinforcement train right now of Barracks is a little bit overwhelming. 40 supply behind now is Sock. Unbelievable that Barracks has managed to do this to what I would consider one of the strongest Terran players in the world right now. He's such a good player, you know? He definitely didn't have the results in ASL this season, as I said earlier, but look at this. He's just getting completely wrecked by Barracks right now. Barracks gonna just annihilate all of these tanks. He's got some great mines here positioned right in the front. Tanks are shoving up. The rallies here of tanks are insane. He's gonna overwhelm right into the natural here of Sock. He's got nothing left. He's done. He's out of it. There's really nothing more that can be done here for Sock. He's got one measly Wraith out here to try and do something, but he's losing SCVs now to these vultures. Tanks are coming down to try and siege up and hold a position, but the writing is completely on the wall here. So many SCVs gonna go down, running away from this base here. GG. Sock taps out. A brilliant game here from Barracks once again. Whew, all right, that was a wild one. Sock gets taken down twice in a row, though, by Barracks here. Now we're going back to a Tengu match. And I think Tengu is probably the most well-matched player for Barracks. They've gone back and forth quite a bit in the most recent games. And, Tengu, he's been the top of the ladder for quite some time. Before Barracks he's got a lot of accounts in S. Excuse me, guys. He has a bunch of different S rank accounts, so he's just overall a very, very strong Terran, and does actually manage to take quite a few games off of Barracks. He's used to the cheese, right? He's used to the early game aggression. He's used to this ladder style of play, and maybe some of these more tournament players not quite down with that. They're not quite in on the ladder meta here as what Barracks or Tengu and what they're involved with every single day, right? This is what they deal with every single day, and even Tengu here gonna throw down a Barracks in the middle of the map. So he's gonna go ahead and put on a little bit of pressure. I think this might just be for build 1, 2, maybe 3 Marines and then lift off and get the earlier scout. He did go for a supply depot on 9, so he's not, this is not an 8 racks. It's not something like what we saw earlier out of Barracks punishing Tengu. Instead, this is just going to be for the faster scout and maybe possibly a tiny bit of pressure. So Tengu here, gonna finish this up. I'm gonna send that SCV, start looking for Barracks here. Barracks not gonna know about this racks in the middle of the map. Instead, he's just gonna get his own factory at a normal timing, get a couple of Marines out for himself, and start to send this Barracks across the map. So everything looking pretty normal here, and both players even on supply as well as workers overall. And not much really else to say aside from I wonder how Barracks is gonna pull this one out, man. What is he gonna do? How's he gonna be able to take down Tengu here? We've seen the overwhelming vulture play. We've seen him just with incredible tank rallies break siege lines. We've seen him go for 2-port Wraith. He's got such a kind of a wild range of different plays that he can go for, but Tengu gets in here and he sees everything, so he should be able to react here. What's his reaction? Instant machine shop, interestingly enough. That's not what I was expecting. He must be going bunker. Yeah, bunker here at the front. He's gonna probably put a supply depot here or something, maybe something over here as well. I'm not sure about that though. You might just see him build supply depots and just not complete them. That might be the correct course of action here. Tengu Looks like he didn't have these didn't build any Marines. That's interesting. No Marines being built for Tengu, so he's just gonna fly over. I guess he built 2 and sent them back. Okay, never mind. He built 2 and sent them back. He's gonna build a tank. Gonna build a supply depot there. I think he's gonna build a supply depot here and try to block. I doubt that he lets these 2 vultures run by, right? There's gonna be a tank out as well, so I guess that doesn't really matter. And these are not gonna run by, I don't think. All right, so we're just gonna have more normalcy here. 1 tank coming out. It's gonna block this entrance. The supply depot there. It's pretty hard to run by this. 3 vultures are gonna try it. Oh, they can kind of do it. 1 SCV goes down, but 2 vultures for 1 SCV, probably not the greatest. Can he get more? He really needs more. Needs more kills here. Tanks come back. It's gonna get this shot, and it finishes it off. So no more kills. 3 vultures for 1 SCV. A great trade here for Tengu to start things off, and a bad situation now for Barracks. I mean, he should have been having mines, right? If he'd kept those 3 vultures here and he finished mines, boom, he's got a position out in the front. He lays down those mines. You know, back at home, what does Tengu have? Nothing really, just some tanks, and he's building a Wraith right now, so he's not going to be able to push out of that for a long time. And back at home here, we've now got an armory coming up, so he will be able to pump out some Goliaths in response to this Wraith, but he's really given up his map control in this game. Not able to... Oh, he sees the Wraith now. Time to send the vultures across the map and set up the mines here. Might as well do that, since you do see that he hasn't gone double factory or anything, and he's gone for this Wraith play. You know that he's not really going to have the map presence to deal with these mines. He's not going to be able to push out for quite some time, so you might as well take this position here, set up those mines in the front. Now you're going to know exactly when he tries to move out. Tanks are starting to come forward. Can he actually get a mine connection? No. Mine's not going to connect there. Good positioning here for Tengu. Just going to set up so that he can maybe force these Marines into a bad position. Ooh. Good shots there with the Wraith. Now he can actually just fight this and kill this Marine here. We don't have a second Marine, but we do have 2 Goliaths. Maybe they can catch the Wraith now. Baiting the Wraith in. He's going to go for it. Gets the Wraith for free. Tengu making that mistake. Trading out a Wraith for 2 Marines. Not an ideal trade. And coming across the map here. Can Barracks get into position in front of his natural? He's building some tanks. He's getting tanks, but he's actually getting Charon boosters. I was not expecting that. I thought that he would be going for siege mode here, which seems like a much better upgrade. When you have mines in front of your opponent's natural, you want to set up these siege lines here. Get a siege line going. Prevent him from coming out any farther on the map, but I guess instead he's just going to sit back. Finally now starting siege mode. Still has vultures out on the map. Got 1 dropship coming around. It's got 2 tanks in it. Oh boy, this could be really rough. Mineral patch is not quite mined out just yet. And if he lands here and sieges up these tanks, what are you gonna do as Barracks? I guess you can't really just mine over there. Oh boy, this is not looking good. One more turn, 2 more returns here, and then he can actually come back around the back and prevent this. And actually fight this. There we go. Sieging up. Gonna get a couple of kills right off the bat. Barracks, quick reaction speed though. Coming back with the vultures now. Gonna get right on top of this. Mines laid down on these tanks. Gonna get a big hit there. Very nicely done. Tank does manage to pick up into that dropship, but Barracks killed one of the tanks. Just traded out a few SCVs to do so. Gonna try and hit this. I think this tank goes down. Yeah, tank thrown away here by Tengu, unfortunately. Maybe wanted to try and hit a couple more SCVs here, but being a little too fancy, does lose that tank. And now Barracks gonna move forward with this position. Maybe he can catch these tanks moving forward from Tengu with the Goliaths and tanks of his own. His overall army is quite a bit stronger. You can definitely push through tanks at this point. If you've got some extra Goliaths with your tanks. We don't have any plus upgrades here just at this moment, but +1 is on the way. No +1 here. Okay, there's +1 just now started for Tengu, so quite a bit behind the +1 of his opponent. Tank already back here, set up and ready to go. Dropships coming in. There's no illusions here for Barracks that this drop is not going to want to come back in again. He's ready for it. He's prepared for it. He's going to be shooting it down with his Goliaths. Tanks setting up here in the main base are going to shut down these vultures here. And that's all really that Tengu can get for this dropship. The drop has been killed. He slowed down the starport for a second. But, I mean, that was a very quickly shut down drop there. Hardly did any damage at all. Now going to come around the right hand side. Some low HP tanks right now moving forward into position. This tank, or this vulture gonna get picked off here. More tanks gonna rally out from Barracks. He does need to cut off this. This is an easy location to push through. Just a good scan and a big wave of units moving forward. Should be able to break that. Really spread out right now is Barracks all over the map, or excuse me, Tengu all over the map. Spread on this side and spread up here as well. Maybe he needs to move into this position here and like really try to lock down on either side of this this cross in the center of the map. Sorry guys for the zoom out, but it's a little bit hard to see the full tank lines at this point in the game. Here we go, zooming in now. It's hiding behind the trees. Look at this. That's so funny. Hiding behind these little doodads here. I wonder if that actually does give the miss chance. I think it probably does. Look at him. He's putting them right behind every single doodad. And put a mine there as well. That's so annoying. Okay. Tank's going to push through on the left-hand side. Tengu trying to break this line over here. Good targeting by Barracks, but it's not going to be enough to stop this push forward. Tank's gonna siege up on either side. Vulture's gonna eat those shots, and tanks of Tengu get their free hits on the tanks of Barracks. As science facility down, has a good number of factories here. Engineering bay, +1, almost done. +2 is on the way right now for Barracks, but his position is not looking very good anymore. Full 10 SCVs behind his opponent. Missing out on quite a few of those workers, and the tanks are slowly shoving forward. He's slowly being surrounded right now. He has a supply advantage. Oh wait, Barracks has the SCV advantage. He's 10 SCVs ahead and he's 10 supply ahead, so he's actually even on army supply, just ahead on workers, which is interesting. Another base gonna go down here for both players, taking their back third bases. And we got to see Barracks kind of break out of this pretty soon. He's going to slowly shove forward, bringing up the vultures. Some pretty good targeting here by Tengu, targeting on the tanks, specifically making sure that takes the best possible trade. Nicely done there. Targeting down those tanks. Once again, going to lose the Barracks here. Is Barracks. And a big clump of wraiths. Okay, I did not see this huge amount of wraiths coming out here for Barracks. And we've got a Valkyrie coming out for Tengu. So Tengu, realizing this, he saw it with the Barracks. He knows that this is coming. He's already got some Goliaths out. He's already got some turrets set. And he's going to be popping out that Valkyrie here very, very soon. Valkyrie helps out a ton. If you're trying to take down, these wraiths. Couple tanks here on this high ground, dealing some damage to the command center building up here, or down here on the low ground. Tanks shoving forward. He really needs to secure this position in order to get his fourth base online and operational. Breaking through once again is Barracks. He's getting rid of these missile turrets and opening up a position for himself to move forward, but that's a lot of Goliaths. You can't really take that fight right now. Too many Goliaths here, backed up by tanks. More reinforcements going to come out of Barracks here. But he's got almost nothing on this side. And Tengu could actually shove forward here and really put the screws to Barracks if he wanted to. Surprising difference here. Look at that. Catching up Tengu. Catching up in supply, but he's got 10 less SCVs. It feels like Barracks is a little bit too gung-ho with the SCV production. Already at 80 SCVs, and he's still producing SCVs, by the way. Still producing SCVs here, and he's trying to mine from this location. But I don't think he can mine from here for long. This command center is under fire. Feels like Tengu just a little bit too strong on the macro front, right? Like, he's got the right number of SCVs, and he just has so many factories pumping here. Okay, gonna move forward once again. Can Barracks break this? It's not looking good. Dealing a little damage, pushing a little farther forward. He is actually going to be able to secure that mining now, finally, which is, it's something. Getting that mining going is very important. Tengu just going to move southward here, just slightly, with his tanks. Oh, great shot there. Looks like that Wraith going to come forward and just snipe that one tank before it could get the final return shot on this tank. And actually, Barracks getting close to punching through. He's still got quite a few tanks here. If he just unsieges everything and goes here right now, I think he can actually break this. He needs to move quick, though. What if he drops popping out now for Barracks? He's ready to move once he takes this position away. There's only 3 tanks here and only a few Barracks, or a few Goliaths. He should be able to break through. Here we go. Barracks taking this position. He's going to shove out, killing off all of these tanks. And securing this gas, securing this position. 2 Valkyries down here. 3 Valkyries, actually. 4 Valkyries now. Oh my goodness. They are going to wipe these Wraiths out. He does have the cloak, but a great scan here. Every single Wraith just evaporates. So all of the Wraiths traded out here for a couple of Valkyries. And yeah, that was rough. Damn, how many Wraiths was that? Was that like 10 Wraiths? Traded out for about 2 Valkyries, something like that? Okay, big drop loading up here for Barracks. This is what he needs to do right now in order to make something happen. In order to get a foothold back in this game. He's going to move around the top side. I think he's going to go for this base here, or he'll just be setting right there. No, he's going to send up towards that 12 o'clock. Going in to the back of this base. He's going to be losing dropships here soon if he doesn't quickly unload and kill that turret. A lot of vultures here. Just 3 tanks being set up. 2 tanks of Tengus being brought up as well. These tanks do need to target fire onto the tanks of Tengu if he wants to hold this position. A lot of SCVs being brought up will surround and kill there. So first drop handily shut down here by Tengu. Meanwhile, he's pushed forward into this position, and Barracks is losing complete control of this game. He's not able to mine from this base right now. He's just barely mining out of this gas. He can't really mine over here. I guess he can try it, but as long as there are scans for Tengu, he's going to be able to shut that down. Beautiful positional play here from Tengu as he just overwhelms this map. He's taking more and more and more bases. He's got plenty of gas income going right now. The overall supply is actually really good for Barracks, but a lot of that is in these dropships. Where is he going to head with these? Looks like he's going right back to the same location. Turrets have not been rebuilt there, so maybe he can drop once again and actually crush through this. Do not drop on those mines. Okay, he does not drop on the mines here. He's going to drop instead behind the natural, or maybe go for the main. What is he doing? This is a huge doom drop, by the way. So many units in here. Drop on top of this? No, he's going to go south? Where is he going? Is he going to go down here? Oh, he's going to drop way at the back of this main base. That's super annoying. But I don't know. I think that he can actually clear this. And oh man, the Valkyries here are going to kill all the dropships right now as well. Every single dropship is going to end up getting taken out. Ooh, that's rough. That is really, really rough right now for Barracks. Getting the moving shot going. Kills every single one. Dropping in supply really, really far down here now is Barracks mining here so sneakily. The tanks can actually hit this if they had that vision. Just doesn't even know about that sneaky base there right now. He's gonna unsiege and push forward. More tanks or more drops have been made. Trying to jump on top of this once again. Drawing in some mines, clearing this out. He is gonna get this operational. Getting the gas up here is fantastic. Still not knowing about, oh, maybe he did do this. Okay, he does know about this now. Tengu is wise to that base at the center right. He's gonna be scanning there and just, oh yeah, some Valkyries here now, gonna be able to deal with that. However, now that this area is opened up, maybe Barracks can get in here and clear this out. This is becoming a pretty epic game here, but Tengu shoving down through the middle. Oh, this is a dirty position right now. He took this whole left side and he left the middle open, so Tengu just gonna take complete advantage of that, shoving up through the middle and going right on in towards the natural. A lot of dropships going down here right now for free. Looks like he's gonna lose 4, maybe even 5 dropships. He's had to pull back from that hard fought and hard won position he got on the left hand side. Tengu looking great here. 20 supply advantage right now. Bunch of SCVs are being pulled to try and break this, but the tank count a little bit too high at this point. Too many Goliaths here as well. The rallying tanks are being picked off, and in what a game that seemed like actually Barracks was going to be able to come back in is now looking completely over. I think that Tengu's going to be able to finish him here, or if not finish him, at least give himself such a winning position that he's just not going to be able to come back ever in this game. Pushing in here, it's going to kill some more SCVs, but of course Barracks has plenty to lose. 69 workers now, going to pull a bunch of SCVs to try and break this. Does manage to get through, but another wave of tanks, and Goliath's going to be shoving up over here on the right hand side. Oh no, the command center here over in the left is going to be picked off by just a couple of Goliaths. So that income, which Barracks was counting on there, he was hoping to get that going, is just going to be shut down. 10 kill, 10 kill, 3 kill, 6 kills, so many kills on these Goliaths here over at that center right. Killed so many SCVs. Still 52 SCVs are available for Barracks. He's fighting with them right now, but he's lost a good chunk of that economy. GG is finally called. Barracks taps out, and we finally got a win here for Tengu. I told you these guys go back and forth on the ladder. Tengu actually showing some brilliance there, taking down Barracks. Let's go to our next game. All right, guys, I've got one more final game for you here. I'm running on fumes. It's been quite a long video already. Voice is getting a little sore, so I'm gonna call it after this one. This is the most recent game on Barracks. Is Seawall.gg was played, I guess, yesterday. Super recent TvT between him and Tengu. They went back and forth, like, I don't even know how many times. It must have been like 8 or 10 games. So I had to pick out some that I thought would be interesting. And yeah, I mean, that last game was pretty awesome, right? That was a good TvT, really decent TvT. But you know, out of all of the games that they've gone back and forth with, I don't think I've seen one longer than 25 minutes, which is kind of insane. If you get, you know, 8, 10 TvTs and none of them go past 25 minutes, that's really showing you guys how much of a shift has really gone on in TvT in the recent months, years, to where we're not even seeing those long games anymore. I'm sure we're still seeing them lower levels on the ladder, right? Like, a lot of people are probably still finding their way into, you know, 40-50 minute games. even now in 2023, and maybe even quite often. But it seems like at the highest level, here, #1 on the ladder. These two players have both been #1 on the ladder at their own times, and right now, Barracks #1 on the ladder. He is not really getting into those long games. It's just not happening. He's always finding ways to either win or, you know, alternatively, sometimes he ends up losing, but he's always finding a way to get through the game much quicker. You know, we're just not getting into those super late games anymore. So I don't think this is going to be any different here, guys. In this final game, we've got 2 Barracks in the middle of the map. One from either player, which is kind of hilarious. Look at this. They're sending both of their SCVs down towards the bottom right. They're going to spot each other, and I guess they will immediately change directions. Blue's going to head north. White's going to head down to the bottom left. And yeah, now the Marines are going to meet here in the middle. Looks like Barracks Marine got the first shot off, so he is going to win that fight. That's actually a pretty big deal. I think he actually won that pretty seriously as well. Ooh, a second Marine does pop as well. He's actually, okay, yeah, he's got 2 shots left on him, so winning that pretty handily there. And now he can just stand right here on top of this. And yes, you can target that 1 Marine down. He's just gonna run away. Okay, so I thought that maybe he would stand closer to where the Marine was gonna pop out, and then Tengu would have a moment to try and gun down that 1 Marine and then make a run for it. But back at home, we've got a bunker here on the low ground. He's gonna make sure that he doesn't die. Oh, almost loses that 1 Marine. Having just 1 Marine in the bunker is, of course, half as good as having 2. But both players gonna go ahead and grab their command centers. 3 Marines were made here, and we had to build a bunker for Tengu. So Tengu actually behind in this case, just slightly. You can see the supplies are a bit ahead, and the worker count just a little bit ahead here for Barracks. So taking the better of that engagement. And what does that come down to? Well, it all comes down to that Marine getting the first shot there. And I don't really know if there's really any difference between what they did. I think both of them just A-clicked their Marine forward, and it just so happened that Barracks Marine shot first. So it is what it is. He's trying to chase down the Barracks here, and yeah, Tengu just gonna have to play from behind, slightly behind. It's not the biggest deal. He's already gone for a machine shop. His opponent Barracks here has gone for a machine shop as well. SCV did manage to make it in the base, so once again Tengu getting the full scout. So we saw what he could do with that last game. He was able to bring that into a winning position with the early scout. Ooh, getting all the Marines here. It's pretty good for Tengu as well. Able to pick off every Marine here in the middle, getting all 3 of them. And only taking a bit of damage here on this Vulture. So yeah, reasonable first kills here. He has the scout. He got the Marines. He's gonna have his Barracks floating across the map. Looks like this Vulture should be able to find this one and chase it down. Ooh, there we go. Okay, he does get the moving shot here. That's big. Looks like he's just barely going to get out of range here, but the second Vulture going to make its way over. He's going to get in front of that, and he shouldn't be able to get any kills. So nicely done. Still maintaining that Vulture lead, and has the advantage here. Really, Barracks totally has the advantage. He's going to be throwing down mines everywhere. Get a whole bunch of mines down here. We will have a Wraith popping out soon for Tengu, but we also have the Armory just about to be finishing up here. Oh, starport of his own as well on the side of Barracks. And Barracks, I mean, interesting. Getting Charon boosters again. It's so shocking to me that Barracks goes for Charon boosters so early in a lot of these games, right? Like last game as well, he went for Charon boosters before tank siege, which it just seems so counterintuitive. But I mean, it is the longer upgrade. He's gonna get it really early on here. Looks like Wraith has now 1 kill, trying to slow down this academy from building. I guess he's gonna go into cloak here soon, perhaps. 1 kill only though on this Wraith. He's gonna see the starport as well. Maybe get another kill here in the natural. We'll see. Nope, just gonna back away here. Still full map control for Barracks, and with the 2 Goliaths out here shoving away that Wraith, it's gonna be feeling very nice right now. More factories being added on here for Tengu, going up to 3. Can't really move out right now. Tanks have to be very careful. If you eat a couple of mines here, you could just lose this game. One mine connects, and then the vultures run in and kill the tanks that get hit by the mine. It's just about over at that point. It's so bad if you start losing these early game tanks. Third base is on the way here. So instead of going for a third factory, a third base gonna come up for Barracks. So Barracks probably gonna be on the back foot a little bit here. He's gonna be a little bit more defensive, but he doesn't have to worry about his opponent just pushing across the map right away. So that was a scan here from Barracks. Barracks saw the factory count overall. I think we're gonna get a scan now from Tengu. Just gonna clear out the map here, clear out the mines in the front. Still has some mines to deal with. Okay, there we go. Another scan coming down. He will be able to deal with these mines. And shoving forward, but he doesn't really know what Barracks is up to at this moment. Like sending out a sacrificial marine there. Just gonna lose that to get rid of the mine. No, not a big deal in that regard. Cloaking coming up for Tengu. Already having the range, the Charon boosters, means that these wraiths are really not going to do too well against the Goliaths here. Spreading out, going to go ahead and snag his own third base, although quite a ways behind where Barracks is at, and the SCV count good bit behind where Barracks is as well. So, he's going to be able to transfer his workers out here as a bit of a roaming force moving around the outside. Looks like Vulture's going to be slipping around. Still kind of wide open here in natural. If he does manage to slip through, maybe he can get in and get some good kills. Ooh, just slipping by here. Let's see what's back at home. Just one tank here on the high ground. You probably want to pull SCVs right now. Try to evacuate this position. A lot of SCVs going down right now. Oof. Pretty painful. Gonna even things up. Only 3 SCVs ahead now is Barracks. So that was a good move. A very good move there from Tengu. Managing to slip in. Get a little bit of damage. Stop some mining time. But pretty much okay here. Don't think, we're going to bat an eye as Barracks. Just going to continue to add on our factories. And the science facility is finishing up just perfectly in time to start +2. Whereas I do not see a science facility here on the side of Tengu. Tengu just starting +1 right now. Am I right? Am I right about that? Wow. So really far behind here in terms of the upgrades is Tengu. Barracks, he's got the SCV advantage, he's got the supply advantage, and he's got the upgrade advantage. What advantages does Barracks or does Tengu have? I don't see any at the moment. It feels like Barracks is just ahead in every way, but maybe there are opportunities, or there's going to be opportunities here for Tengu to make a comeback. It is a very volatile matchup here, TvT. Dropships can change the game. Wraith switches can change the game. He does have that overall higher count of wraiths. Although we do already have, as I said before, Charon boosters and Goliaths out on the field. This is a curious game. I'm not sure how this is going to go overall. 5 wraiths, not producing any more. So not really utilizing nor getting the value out of those wraiths. Adding on a bunch more factories now is Tengu, but sitting very defensively. I said that this is what Barracks was going to do, was sit defensively, but it looks like really, in the end, Tengu going to sit much more defensive here. Did manage to slow down this 4th command center at least. And Barracks going to be moving out on the map. He's going to be taking a lot of space right now. And he has a serious advantage in terms of that supply. Not a whole lot has gone on this game, but Barracks has managed to snag a pretty significant lead. Without really trading too much out for it. All right, 1 tank shot getting off there. But really, Barracks just throwing away a whole bunch of vultures for almost no actual value. Base coming down here at the 6 o'clock. Tengu really going to give himself a good chance here The only thing I'm looking at really is that +2 timing. When that +2 comes into play, it's going to be really hard for Tengu to make up that deficit. Ooh, getting another kill on this SCV, slowing that down once again. Very annoying stuff. We'll clear that out eventually, though. Taking a little high ground position here. Probably needs to reinforce this a little bit better. You don't... really no point in taking a high ground like that. If you're only going to hold it with 3 tanks, those can just get busted very easily by even like 10 vultures can just run up there, just throw down mines on top of that and kill it. You don't even need to trade tanks for that. But taking this position over here is pretty nice. Barracks gonna push into a very rough spot right now, and Tengu not gonna take the fight directly, just gonna back away with his tanks, try to set up a more defensive position. But Barracks starting to cut in towards the 6 o'clock. He's not going to allow more SCVs to be transferred down here. What does he have for... Okay, he's got 2 Goliaths. 2 Goliaths still. I think that Tengu is just waiting for the right opportunity, right? Once these Goliaths get killed, that's going to be the moment where we're going to see Tengu lash out with those Wraiths. The Wraiths are going to come into play and really start to mess up the push forward that Barracks is trying to accomplish right now. Pushing up towards the middle here. The AMD sign in the center. As Barracks looks to be pushing towards this 6 o'clock once again. Sieging up here. Targeting very nicely on these units. Utilizing that +2 advantage. Very, very well right now. Here he comes with the race. Now coming out. But there's just still too many Goliaths right now. He does cloak, but the scan goes down, and there's only 1 tank left over here. He's gonna push southward, south here, and it takes 3 tank shots to kill this. So 2 tank shots, gonna return fire here. Missed tank shot. That's so brutal. Not even getting that last tank shot off. I guess the tree is almost covering this, or maybe this is on high ground. I'm not sure, but that's really, really tough for Tengu. Who's now going to be losing SCVs down here. Tengu is just getting squeezed out of this game right now. Barracks overwhelming him with his macro. His early game kind of... what's it called? His early game... The risks that he took in the early game in order to get this quick third up have really paid off now, and Tengu is just getting squeezed, man. He's getting squeezed out of this game. It's a rough feeling. Maybe Tengu gonna try and take a base over here at the center left, a base going up for Barracks at the top left, and a base going down for Tengu in the bottom right, actually. So he's trying to take a whole bunch of bases at the same time, see if he can sneak something out on this map, get a base out here. That won't be scouted by Barracks, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Ooh, he canceled this, and now he's gonna move over somewhere else. Where is he going with this SCV? That's interesting. Canceled the CC down here, and now just moved the SCV over to this position just to scout, I guess. Looks like we had some amount of attacking over here, going down over here. Oh god, this command center is gonna die as well. 42 HP on that's gonna burn down. Tengu's stretching out towards the left-hand side. He has +2 just about to finish up, so the odds have been even here just slightly. We are going to get another upgrade coming, but really the +2 is the key point. Having that +2 means it makes all the difference. Pushing in towards the natural here now. Barracks going to get on top of this and siege up before Tengu really notices what's going on here. He's going to bring back a whole bunch of units, and maybe he can clear this, but the Goliaths are fighting so well right now, and the tanks are just annihilating everything. Looks like all the Wraiths are going to end up going down, and really Tengu has had a wedge driven into his base, his setup here. We're going to be driving right through. All the rest of the units are up here. And he's just cutting in here with this little wedge in towards the main and natural of Tengu. Barracks breaking through everywhere. He's going to be able to siege up. I don't think he can shut this down, but he can kind of contain the natural here. And there's so much coming out now. for Barracks overall. He's got an enormous amount of units, 80 supply advantage. Tengu gonna try and pull out all the stops to break this push, but you gotta give it up here for Barracks. Barracks is just crushing right now. He's even coming through the middle of the map with the reinforcing army, trying to move forward. Here is Tengu just to get out of his natural, but he can't. More tanks gonna go down here over on the center left, and everything has fallen apart now. 82, he's really goes crazy with the SCVs here, hey? 82 SCVs, seriously, that's a lot. That is way too many SCVs. And is he still building SCVs? No, he's not. Luckily, he's realized that that's probably enough. He actually hit max out. So, yeah, definitely more than enough SCVs there. No mines on this. Oh, man, that'd be a perfect mine. We could just get one down. Vultures getting in here and shutting down the base here in the center left, but there's just been way more mining for Barracks for way too long. Tengu pushing out a little bit here, but even if he sets up a tank line and just sits there, I don't think that's going to be enough. He's not going to be able to get this fourth base online without being broken somewhere else, right? If he stretches up over here, oh, he's already got some tanks over here. If he stretches out, we're going to have another force come through here and break in towards the natural. It's just how it's going to happen. It's exactly the right move here from Barracks. Harass the position over here and then come in from this angle, hit the natural, deal some more damage. Ugh, losing tanks to a battle rally as well. That's so annoying here for Tengu, who's been on the ropes for quite some time, and every time you lose a unit for free, it's so frustrating. D-Matrix coming down. Getting the push going here. Barracks trying to break through. He's just going to take a little bit more space. Works out pretty well for Tengu overall, actually, this trade. Really winning this trade overall. Didn't really lose too many tanks here, and Barracks is going to get shoved back. However, you know, this is just writing on the wall right now. Barracks has this bottom left-hand corner, or bottom right-hand corner. He's got this space here. Floating out more command centers, taking more parts of the map. Has about 80 supply advantage still. There's a few units over here, but I think that Barracks just about ready to break through that. He's gonna hit this from an angle, coming in, eats the whole first round of tank shots there with that D-Matrix. That was a beautiful D-Matrix. Great mines as well to deal with this. Just crushes. Look, he didn't even lose a tank there. That was impressively well done by Barracks, breaking through that tank line with ease. It looks like everything's been cleared up here at the natural, but Tengu, he's gonna lose this position. He's gonna start to lose more SCVs here. Looks like these two vultures will go down, so like he can get back to mining for a second, but again, below 100 supply, whereas Barracks just flooding the map with vultures and tanks. He's going to be able to overwhelm eventually. It's just a matter of time here as Tengu desperately holds on to a sliver of hope that he can bring it back in this game. Tank's going to slide forward here, take a better position, and it's going to force a reaction here from Tengu. He cannot just allow this base to go down. There's really no other option here but to break this force, and that's exactly what you want to do in TvT. You do not want to you know, force, or you don't want to allow your opponent to dictate the pace. You want to force your opponent to walk into you. Make it, give them put them into a position where they don't have a choice. They have to walk their tanks into you, and it looks like Tengu trying to make that a reality by attacking down here in the bottom right, forcing a response from Barracks, but at the same time, he's not responding to this, and he's not shutting down these spaces. We've still got the mining going here. All of the tanks have been taken care of. Tengu got to be tapping out here pretty darn soon. He has the command center over here. He can still mine gas, but he really can't get that mineral income, and he just cannot replenish this tank army any further. Too much here on the field for Barracks. He's going to get everything together. Look at that, the Wraith finisher. So many Wraiths out here, and what are you to do? How are you to deal with something like this? He's got drops out on the map. He's going to try and drop it, looks like bottom right. He's going to try and take this base, but no. He sees the number of wraiths here hitting his tanks at the front. He taps out. GG. Another astonishingly well played TvT by Barracks. Barracks just such a monster, man. He got taken down by Tengu one time. And Tengu and him have gone back and forth quite a bit, but Barracks really showing his class here. He is so formidable right now. I can't wait to see more of him in both the KCM team matches and in future tournaments as well, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to see another pro player get investigated, you want to see me look at you know, Solki, or I don't know who you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments down below and I'll look into them. I'll figure out if they have some replays worth checking out, and I'll get back to you in the next video.